being called to like tune out the noise and like redefine like our priorities. We need to have this kind of like trust and surrender to the not knowing. There's a lot of healing happening. There's a lot of intense healing happening. We're moving into a new way of being, and seeing others just come online and their gift, and seeing the power that we all possess. We all are that light. To see people come online and be like, wow, that is possible in a world that tells us it's not. That's why we're here. We're all creators. When we can just tap into that beautiful power inside ourselves, it is magic.
Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Sarah, your host, and I'm a healing and mindfulness guide, life coach and teacher. I'm so pleased to have Lonna, my dear friend, a sound healer and intuitive, who's going to channel such wonderful guided wisdom for us all today. I invite you to open your ears and heart and find a comfortable space. Enjoy. Welcome, Lonna. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you for having me. It's been some time. Like timelines are just merging. It feels like it was yesterday and also like a year ago.
Yeah, it really does. Time flies. I can't believe it's probably been 3 weeks or maybe a month.
I think it's been over a month because I think our last one was 7/7 and it's now the 9th. So I'm just like, wow, like, yeah, we just have to flow. But I think we tried 3 times and things just didn't work out, and that's okay. It's all in the right timing, but it's been intense. How are you doing?
We're in time for 10/10, which is
yes, we are. Yes, we are. You're right about that. You're right. Those portals. I'm still reeling from the eclipse portal, the birthing canal, and the equinox kind of transfer over, and the Aries full moon. I'm an Aries moon, so this Aries full moon was very potent, I think, for everybody, but I definitely felt it. How did you feel?
I was a little bit kind of discombobulated as well, definitely. Which I just kept having to go into the grass and ground myself, and that's basically the best thing. I find if you get your heart rate up outside in the fresh air, it's like the most grounding thing you can do. And I always forget because, you just get caught up in working and doing things. And then you remember, oh yes, I need to go back outside again.
I feel you on that. I really do. I same with myself, even getting like, I had my shoes off and I was up early morning and like walking in the dew. In the morning, like I'm like, I don't know why, but I kept being called to the dewy grass, and I'm like, I just need to like feel. I think it's also because of the water energy, transmute the emotions, and also being in the water. Like it's like cold. It's October now, and I'm still swimming in the waters. I had an amazing night swim on the Aries full moon, and then it was like 2 degrees today. So it's just these crazy contrasts. Like I'm in a long sleeve shirt for the first time and I don't know how long, so I'm definitely feeling the transition of the seasons, which I did miss in Mexico, to be honest, but it's like now all the colors are turning. I love this time of year. It's just like it's a reminder to be like, okay, we're going a little more inward now,
Totally. The leaves haven't started to fall just yet. I think it kind of happens here around November. So I think we're kind of a few weeks off, but I do love autumn. I love autumn.
Me too. I kind of like putting on like a sweater, and having like a crisp kind of walk. Like I do like that. Like I definitely missed that in Mexico when it was like it's just rainy season or it's hot. Like it's like there's never really an in between and everything's dead by the end of the season. So it's like that lushness, like I like to see the transitions. It's like, okay, we're shedding our leaves, we're shedding our skin. It's like the snake, which we're in the year of the snake. So it's just kind of nice to transition. And also the foods, like this is my favorite time of year to be making soups and stews and like the warming foods. Like that's my favorite stuff. I don't know why. It just is very comforting,
Yes, it's like a little hug in the stomach, a lovely warm soup. What kind of soups would you make?
I like vegetable soups. I like lentil soups. I throw a bunch of stuff in there and I like it. I also like dal. I really like dal. So I make different kinds of dal as well. But yeah, this is kind of when I'm like, well, what are we going to throw in today? Or like a carrot ginger, something is really good too. Yeah, anything that's warming and nutritious. And broths. I'm really about the broths because it's so healthy for you. And it's just like, it just hits exactly what you need. It feels very nutritive, you know?
Yes, I love butternut squash soup or those kind of spices. Any spices, I'm the same as you. Anything that's there goes in. If I need to use something, it just goes in.
Well, because spices are medicine, right? And when our bodies are transitioning, it's like we need different things. Like I wouldn't go and do a juice cleanse now, you know? Like I would be like, oh, that's just too cold. Like I need that nourishment. I do like dal a lot though. Dal feels really good. Sometimes I add that when I'm detoxing too, just because if I do juicing, I'm like in the clouds. Like I can't ground in at all. So I'm like, sometimes I throw in that dal when I'm doing a detox as well, but it's just warming, like the warming spices too. Like I love ginger. I love ginger in general, but I especially love it in the colder months just because of the heat component and also the digestive stuff. It's really good.
Definitely. And so, what's your viewpoint on the astrological forecast?
I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I mean, I feel like the forecast is not as it was because I feel like the energies at this time are really like about like balance between like the light and the dark. There's just it's such a flux right now. Like, and I feel like there's I don't want to use the word war, but like a war on like the frequency and vibration. Like it's almost like there's a clarion call out, you know, like almost like the way I describe it, it's like kind of like the dog whistle, that subtle thing that's like being called, but like only certain beings can hear it. And it's like we're being called to like tune out the noise and like redefine like our priorities. Because I think we're at a choice point now. Like, look at the world. We're in such a divide, you know, and I think like, and I'm not like all the politics, everything coming up. And I feel like the whole like Charlie Kirk thing happening, it's like, it's kind of showing the underbelly of humanity, you know, it's kind of showing us where I'm not saying that there's a line drawn in the sand, but it almost feels like that because we're oscillating between energies right now where it's like, what are you giving attention to? You know, like, again, and I know we always talk about this, but it just feels like it's so much more amplified in what's around us. Because it's really like, are you going to give energy to kind of like watching the news? Are you going to give energy to like going inward? Is it something that, you know, like I don't know, like it's kind of asking, like, are you engaging? And also I feel like people now have expressed their voice a little bit more. Like there's so much kind of manipulative energies out there, which has like an intentioned agenda, like to create divide and separatist mentality, you know, and there's like a divisive energy, which I mean, I feel like we are moving more towards one way or the other. And I feel almost like our society is in this like bated breath, you know, like we're on alert, like we're trying to be like, okay, what's coming next? Like, it's like there's this energy of something coming, yet it can't be named or labeled or like we can't identify it. And it's almost like we need to have this kind of like trust and surrender to the not knowing. And there's such a quickening of the energy too. Like I feel like there's so much just that's fast and that's around us and that's happening like, you know, around us and pulling us in and trying to like create fear and trying to create, you know, like I don't even want to talk about AI because I feel like AI is just so prevalent. And I know these are the same kind of things we always talk about, but it's just like you can't go anywhere without AI and you can't even look at a video online where you're just like, is that real or is that AI? Like a nice fit, like something like, oh, that's crazy that happened. And it's just like, no one believes anything anymore. There's such a discredit kind of energy that's out there. And you can't even enjoy those moments where you're like, oh, that's a cute video. And everyone's like, that's AI, you know, like it's just, there's so much distrust, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is really, again, this call that we always talk about, you know, it's like it going inward and anchoring into like the self-autonomy, like your truth and getting out of your head and getting into your heart, because like what we're seeing in our visual, what's being shown to us is not true reality. And I think it's a lot about just, again, going in, like, it's so uncomfortable, this kind of waiting game that we have going on. And I feel like, again, it's about calling us back into, like, letting go of the unhealthy and the misaligned aspects of life, and like really asking yourself, like, do these people align? Does this narrative align? Like, nothing's a linear path, but are we willing to kind of ride the waves of the great unfolding, I guess you can say, and be willing to kind of let go of the things that are kind of standing in the way of us, like not picking a side, because I think it's really about maintaining that neutrality point. But it's like I really feel like there's a lot that's happening where, like, I keep getting this like energy of the solstice unfolding, December 21st, like the winter solstice. And it's kind of like right now we're in a reset point where it's kind of like reconnection with like the newly activated parts of ourselves that came on during this crazy eclipse portal, during the equinox that came. It's like we're really coming from a new energetic template, is the way that I describe it, because it feels like we've had all these activations and all these upgrades, and it's a time of like remembrance for like our more authentic aspects. Like, we're calling in soul fragments, we're calling in the deeper parts of self, we're connecting back in to kind of our higher aspects, if that makes sense. Because like there really is this intensity. I mean, we just had the Aries full moon, which, like, Aries is the first zodiac sign. It's all about the warrior energy. It's like, picking up the sword, but there's also that balance within that. It's like, know when to battle and know when to kind of go inside and like to find that kind of homeostasis. And I feel like really getting offline, finding the quiet solitude, finding those nourishing activities, like, and really like coming from kindness, coming from softness, coming from compassion, and like honoring, our path and also others' paths that maybe aren't in alignment. Like, everybody's truth is valid, and whatever that looks like. I don't think it's like I'm right and you're wrong. And that's such of what the energy is right now, is like this divisive energy, this separatist energy. And I think we're forgetting to honor everybody's viewpoint as like their own truth and coming from a respectful place, because there is such a divide right now. And I don't like to be online too much. So I feel like more and more I'm stepping offline. But when we're looking at the collective energy, it's like we can choose to engage in this or not, like, and what you're aligning with determines the timeline that you're on. And this is a time to like truly see yourself, and not a time for really fear or even apathy, because I think we're really coming into a space where it's like, what's our truth? Like, what does that look like? And we had so much intensity in September. I mean, I feel like it's just going to continue to intensify. We have these oscillating energies, and I keep feeling and connecting to this energy of, the winter solstice, December 21st. Like, whatever is happening now, we are preparing for something large that's coming at that time. And I mean, that's relative too, because I think it's this snowball effect of what's unfolding in front of us. And I feel like it's going to continue to amplify. But I think there's a deeper communion and remembrance of like the wholeness of all that we are, all we embody, and what it is we're looking to embody. And when we're like observing things in the collective, it's like we need to be very conscious and very intentional with what we see as truth, and also holding that anchoring of compassion and non-judgment, and allowing everybody to have their truth, because there's so much pointing fingers and blame. And I really think this Charlie Kirk thing really kind of created that divide. It's like, whether you believed in his viewpoints or not, he was still a human with a family who thought he was like, he had his own version of truth. And we don't have to agree with each other's viewpoints to come from a loving space, and to come from compassion and gratitude for, like, at the end of the day, he's here trying to embody Christ consciousness, which is within all of us. It's not anything external. And I didn't agree with a lot of his viewpoints, but I have to honor the fact that he was a warrior for what he believed in, and I don't want to get too political about it, but I feel like we really saw some dark aspects of humanity coming out, you know, like people who were happy to see him pass, or like I don't know what world we're living in when it's okay that, like, you know, someone's taken out that has young children and a family, and it's just like someone that we would feel justified in thinking that he doesn't deserve to live. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's heavy. It's a heavy time. And I think this is, again, a great call into kind of like who and where do we align. And I think our family members, I think our friends are showing where they align. A lot of people, that their inner truth is coming out. And it's like, there's a falling away of people. There's a falling away of jobs. There's a falling away of relationships that I'm seeing a lot with my clients, where it's just like that. Like, I can't align to that with you anymore. Mm-hmm. I can love you, but I have to step away, and it's a choosing. Like, are you finding that in your experience?
Yeah, and I've noticed quite a lot of fear. Kind of, I think fear is like a massive kind of collective theme all around the world. And it's normal that there's a lot of fear, but we can use our fear to debilitate us, or we can use it to take action and then allow it to pass through. But I find that people kind of get caught up in that fear, and then they just become a little weaker and don't really know how to make decisions from a strong kind of higher perspective. And I think that's what I've been able to see anyway.
I'm seeing that too. And that's also a reflection of the collective energy, right? Like, there's so much, like, there's fear of what's coming. We don't know what's coming. And it's like it's a safety. It's a deep rooted security and safety. And my clients, and what I'm seeing, is that there's a lot of holding on to things that are just not healthy anymore, because it's that safety blanket. It's that aspect that's like, okay, like, this is something that I know what it is. Mm-hmm. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know what it smells like. I'm like, this is we're not, I shouldn't say we, but I find beings are finding comfort in the things that they understand and know. But there's also an asking of a letting go of that, because we can't grow. We can't step into our full alignment when we're still holding these aspects of things that are misaligned and things that are out of alignment. And because there's so much indecision and so much fear and the unknown, we create a fear deeper with that, rather than utilize that fear as a catalyst forward. Because fear is there just to show us, like, okay, that's a little bit scary, but when we're kind of called towards something that we're fearful of, it means that there's a deep knowing inside us that we're meant to kind of lean into that we're meant to kind of step forward into that, because it's like a shedding of the skin, like the snake. It's like a layer that needs to go. Mm-hmm. And if change is scary, chaos brings change, right? And we're in chaos right now. And I think there's this clinging of old ways, but it's also like a falling away if we just allow it. And exactly like you said, just like a witnessing and an observance of what are we fearful of, and trying to surrender into not having to know is what brings those things into alignment. Like, we need to make space and create space for the things that are meant to come in, that are our joy, that are our alignment and our opportunity. You know, whether that be soul family or more aligned opportunities for work, or, you know, living in a different place. It's like, we can only move forward with how much we allow that. And if we look at fear as a beautiful teacher, as opposed of something shackling us and keeping us in that space, then it doesn't seem so scary. And from my perspective, and I'm sure you can agree on this, with my clients and with people I've spoken to, like, when you take that leap, when you really take that leap, the universe always catches you. There's always something that comes from that is meant for you, because change is scary. If it wasn't scary, then everybody would just be changing all the time, you know? Like, it's when we stay in that space, and I can even see that reflected in my own life, when it's like it becomes stagnant. It's like, okay, like, I'm going against the flow of what's natural for me, for what I'm meant to create and what I'm here to do in this world. And, you know, when you cling to that safety, it's not for your highest good. And it becomes more and more evident to you that you're not in alignment. And then either you can, you know, stick your feet in the ground and be like, I'm not moving. Or you can be like, okay, universe, let's do this, you know, like taking that leap. And it's not easy, like, but I can see in myself and also with people around me, it's like, that's kind of what we're being required to do. And And we don't know the beautiful things that are coming. We have to put ourselves in alignment to create that. So
it's like being stuck in a toxic relationship and you know it's not for you. And you know that when you do take the step to leave the relationship, amazing things will happen. So it's kind of like the same in this situation. We're surrounded by fear, but if we kind of sit down and have a chat with fear and ask it what's under there, what just kind of personify it a little bit, it kind of takes the weight off it, and then we can break through.
Exactly. And yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because it's like when we look at that, it's like we're in fear, but like our soul knows that they're like, all right, they're trying to push you a little bit forward and to be like, okay, like this is what you really want. And so, because again, the patterning will keep coming back deeper and harder until you're just like, okay, it's like a neon sign in front of your face that's like blinking. And you're just like, okay, like I'm just going to go around this, like you can't. Eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, you're going to stop you in your tracks, and it's going to create scenarios in your life that you can't go around. The obstacles will get bigger and bigger. And it's like, it's going to be this sheer face rock that you have to climb 100% 90 degree up. And you're just like, okay, like the more we can find that flow, and I think surrender into that, and the better we'll be, and I've also found too, after kind of the equinox energy, and even with this full moon, it's like we're really connecting deeper into like our star consciousness, or like, okay, so everyone incarnated has a soul family, a star family that's elsewhere, and we all embody what's called a quantum signature. So everything has energy, everything has a vibration. And I've found, even with myself and with others, it's like there's this consciousness, this deeper aspect, this deeper communion with your soul consciousness. And our original soul design or blueprint is in direct connection with this consciousness group. Mine's Syrian, but I have others, and we have many, many beings, but we have one. And it's kind of like when you can decipher this kind of script or soul coding, then we can manifest kind of the desired outcome. And this is a part of that realignment to this coding, which helps us. It's kind of like our internal codex. We can look at it like that. And this is what allows us to kind of manifest that abundance, like that heals those illnesses, those diseases that really are just a reflection of our misalignment in life. That also allows us to tap into like ancient memories and teachings from our star family, from our star origin. And when we can understand our own energy signature, our quantum signature, it taps us into kind of the energy grid of the universal energy grid, and then it's like this decoding. Like mine comes in through all these like gold glyphs that I'm like, what is this? It's all light language, it's all coding, but it's like we all have our own unique energy template, our own energy grid, if you will. And the more we can connect to like the coding or the language of that energy template, the more we're connected to our full aspects of self, our full connection to our spirit family, our galactic family. And then things start falling away in your life that are obstacles or viewed as obstacles. And we find that alignment. It's like we find that complete homeostasis within ourselves, that harmony, and the dissonance kind of moves out, and when you can master that or evolve that within yourself, it's like you can tune into like any vibrational frequency that exists. And when you can tap into any vibrational frequency that exists, it's like you have the quantum field of infinite potentiality in front of you. You really do. Like we are here bringing in, as humans, in the 3D dimensional space, but we are bringing in the light of the God worlds, of our spirit family. And that is the purpose of why we're here, is to bring those codes in to help Earth, to help Gaia. And it comes in through us. That's what's going on with the solar codes. That's what's going on, with the 3-eye atlas that everyone's talking about, and the frequencies coming in with them, which is a consciousness, by the way. It's a consciousness of our guardians, our founder beings of the God worlds. It's multiple, it's Syrians, it's Andromedans, it's Lyrans. It's a collective consciousness activating us to higher dimensional spheres. And where we are in our internal process is how we'll integrate those energies in. But I mean, it's bypassing Mars, it's bypassing Venus, it's bypassing Jupiter and picking up the frequencies. It's also a ship, so it's also refueling itself. But like, we don't need to get into all that because everyone's got their own opinions on that. But I also think there's some element to that has to do with the winter solstice. That's kind of what I keep connecting to. Like, it's upgrades, you know, like it's upgrades and kind of however you look at it. And, you know, whether one believes it's a comet, whether one believes, you know, it's a ship or whatever that is, it's cloaking itself in a lot of ways. But the point of that is it is going to activate us to higher frequencies. Like, that's a part of it. Then it's also kind of part of disclosure, which we've kind of talked about a bunch of times. So I mean, where we are in ourself, where this is aligning to, it depends on where we are in our current, you know, frequency alignment to our soul coding, but it's all coming online. And I've found since kind of like the solar eclipse portals in September and the equinox and then the full moon, it's just like bing, bang, bop. It's like bam, bam, bam. You get all these things kind of coming in and it's all snowballing. And it's like, we're on this ride. We're not going anywhere. Like, it's just going to continue to increase. And we're connecting to essentially fifth dimensional spheres. Like, we're connecting into the matrix of the God worlds and all the things in between. And how, you know, like, we're activating and bringing more of ourselves online, soul fragments in from other realities. And we need to contain that in our physical body. And this hasn't really been done this way before in any point on Earth. And it's intense. Like, there's no way else to explain it, but it's intense.
Yes. And I love what you said earlier, the word surrender. It just keeps coming back into my mind. Just surrender, just release, let go, and sit back and enjoy the ride.
That's it. That's literally it. Because it's like we keep saying, I'm like, there's no guidebook for this. Like, no one really knows. And it's 1:44 as I say that and look at the clock. But it's like, again, 0 point energy connecting to the frequency. And it's like, we have to surrender. It's like, really, it's the fear that keeps us, you know, like, creating obstacles, or at least not moving around the obstacles. We're in the year of the snake. So like, we have the ability to maneuver around things if we just find that flow and find that surrender. And we don't create obstacles from nothing, because it's our fear, it's our inability to find that flow that creates the obstacles. And it'll just kind of keep building and building, and it'll get harder and harder to kind of go around it. It'll get also harder and harder to bypass it, because it's happening. We don't, it's happening. And again, it's actually quite simple, really. It's just eat well. Try and let your body rest, you know, sleep as much as you can. Like, people are either sleeping a lot or can't sleep at all. And it's like, okay, like, it really is letting go of the old ways that used to be like 8 hours of sleep. And this is what I used to eat. And it's just like, listen to your body, listen to the rhythms of your body, connect deeper into your soul knowing, because there is no right way for anybody. Everyone is different. There is no, like, this is what we should be doing. It's, you are your own teacher. You are the one who knows your energy the best. And when you get to know yourself, know your energy system, understand your chakras, understand how your energy moves, move with it, as opposed to creating discord and that's for illness and disease and everything. You know, it's like, again, we talk about this all the time. I can't eat any of the same foods I used to eat. Like, I'm just like, but I want it, you know, and you cling to those ways, but it's just like, nope, like, it just will not allow. And I've just let that go. And it's like, okay, like, new things will come in. But if you feel like fasting, fast. If you feel like sleeping for 15 hours, sleep for 15 hours, because our bodies need the rest. Yeah. We need nature. We need good, nourishing foods, peoples, places, jobs, and what we're giving energy to. So it really is that simple.
Yeah. I've noticed I stopped drinking coffee there literally 2 weeks ago, because I got this massive headache one evening, and I thought it was from drinking too much coffee. I had like 2 or 3 cups. And since then, I've stopped. And I swear to God, I think I've been poisoning my body for the last, I don't know how many years, because I have completely different level of energy. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Can you believe that?
Yes, and I'm glad you're saying this, because I've been thinking the last couple of weeks, I'm like, I need to detox coffee. Like, I feel like I've been so clean with everything. I feel like that's the one last thing that like I'm not addicted to coffee in the sense where, you know, like a lot of people shuffle to the coffee maker and like need it to function. I don't need it to function. I just greatly enjoy the flavor of it. And you know what it is? Like when I was traveling through Portugal and a little bit of Ireland, it was like I found I really wanted it after dinner. It was like this warming kind of like connection between people, and it was more of like the sharing of it as opposed to being like, I need this to function. I didn't need that. It was more of a community thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, wow, it's kind of like part of the culture here. You just have a coffee after dinner and it's just like this warming kind of aspect. I really enjoyed that. But now I'm not doing it intentionally. So I'm really glad you said that, because I've been thinking that I need to kind of go on a coffee detox. And I definitely know that it's taking my energy. So I feel like this conversation needed to happen. And I'm happy you're feeling good, because it's addictive.
Yeah. I remember one time I drank too much coffee like years ago, and I lost my sight in one eye.
What?
Like I had like 2 espressos because I was so tired and I had to work. I was working in restaurants at the time. I was in my 20s, and I literally couldn't see out one eye.
Oh my Lord.
I think that might have been a sign that I'm not supposed to drink coffee, but you know the way you just persist and you just get used to it. So I think that's what happened. And I don't know if my body was very much adapted to coffee. I think there was a little bit of an intolerance there. Try decaf. Try out decaf and see if that kind of blends you out.
I've done decaf. I feel like I just need to detox from it, but like it's not even the caffeine. Like I could have a coffee in the evening and still sleep. Like I don't think it's that. Okay. Although my body's very sensitive. I've been told by like my Chinese medicine, they're like, don't have it. Like, and if you're gonna have it, don't have it after noon. But I think I've just become accustomed to it, because I like, especially now that it's getting cool, I don't want to like be like, oh, I'm just gonna have a nice warm coffee. Like I need to just switch to the tea, because I don't drink a lot of tea in the summertime, and I should. So I think this is a good time to transition out. But also too, it depends. Like coffee itself is actually good for you in moderation, but it's all the stuff that you put in it, you know, like if you're putting in the milks and you're putting in the sugars, and it's like that's kind of what I think there's detriment to. So, and I really just want to feel my energy system in all, like just as clean as possible. So thank you for that reminder. I think I need to do that.
I have a lavender tea there and a rose tea. They're so lovely. So you have the smell of the lavender that's really calming, and it's like a hug in your stomach as well. It's literally like a belly hug. I highly recommend getting lavender tea and rose.
Oh, I have rose. I just haven't, I'm like, I need to get into this, because I'm like, I just love rose. Rose just brings me so much into like the balanced feminine, and I just like rose, everything is part of it. But lavender, I do have lavender tea. It's like a lavender Tulsi tea, which is good, but I'm like, it just tastes too much like green tea, which I'm not a big fan of, and I need to like more. Or matcha. I like to kind of do like a matcha, and I'll maybe mix that in. But I will listen to your advice on this, because I feel like I just need to find my way back to tea. I do love chai. Chai is a big one for me as well. Just again, the warming spices. So I can do that. But I mean, there's also caffeine in that. I think I need to just rid of caffeine and just go completely herbal. I think that's what I need to do, because I just want to be in full control and like connection to my energy system, and not have anything externally kind of like, not controlling, but it just feels like I just want to be fully clean and clear, so I can kind of tap the most into the messages.
Yeah, because you do channel a lot, and you know it's your life. So I imagine that it would clear up a little bit of a pathway as well.
I think so too. Yeah, like when I gave up marijuana, I was like, because I was using it to sleep for a long time, and I'm just like, yeah, I didn't like the reliance that I had on it. I also wasn't hitting REM sleep, and this was at the start of this year, and I just like, I don't miss it. Like I had to detox pretty hard for a few weeks from it, but I'm like, I'll probably, you know, connect with it again, but it's like more of like a medicine teacher at that point, you know, like it does ground me into the earth experience. It's very grounding, and I'm very galactic, as you know, like I'm very connected to multiple dimensions all the time, but I found my own balance within that. Like I don't really miss it at all, and I sleep better, and I fall asleep way easier now, and I'm not waking up in the middle of the night, and it just feels like I'm in more communion with my true self, if that makes sense. Like it was kind of, I feel like it closes your lower 3 chakras. So I feel like now I'm like, oh, things are really flowing fully, and it helps me channel in. Like when I do like to create music on it, but I don't feel the need anymore to do that. So it's been a nice letting go, to be honest.
Have you been feeling an influx of creativity? Because I've noticed around my circles, we all seem to be doing art all of a sudden.
Yes. Yeah, I'm channeling new things. Like there's new frequencies coming in. I'm connecting to new beings. I'm channeling new realms, and I'm like, oh, my voice when I'm singing is different. I'm connecting, and the feedback from people, because I do sound healings. And people are like, oh, I saw this visual and I went into this temple, and it's just like, it's kind of these ancient codes that are activating again with connecting with my soul family, and really just like, I can feel that there's more coming in. I feel like I want to express more. I feel like my abilities are expanding vibrationally and through healing. Like I also heal with my hands. So like people are like, well, that's different. I never felt that before. And I'm just connecting I feel like these are just more parts of myself, more fractal aspects, more parts of my higher aspects I'm integrating into this physical body now. So it's kind of like, the 12 dimensional spheres of me, the soul body and the monad body and the avatar, like they're all different dimensional spheres of self. And calling in from the unified field, it's like, it's not like, hey, I'm channeling the dragon realm this time, or I'm channeling the angelic realm. It's just like, I'm connected to the unity field of all, like the 0 point, the God fields. And it's just like, again, this potentiality that's just like infinite, and I don't need to define it. That's the beautiful part. I'm not like, oh, this is where I'm coming from. It's just like, it doesn't even matter. It's this full, again, surrendering and openness to being like, whatever is needed at the time is what's going to come through. It's like a deeper trust.
Yeah. And it's like I'm kind of getting the idea that you connect through your voice, like a harmonic balance of unity.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's this unity consciousness. And, when I'm doing group stuff, it's like everybody feels connected within that. And then we're connecting to the other realms. And it's like, it's just the visuals that people are expressing, the stuff coming through, like it's activating things within them. And it's just also, it's calming their nervous system. So it's helping them heal, and just feel grounded in this chaos energy we're in. So, which is cool. I mean, I've always been told like, oh, I'm a good singer, goosebumps and this and that, but it feels like it's different. Like it feels like it's more expansive. Like there's more coming in with codes. It feels like it's all coded, and the templates are coming online. The dormant DNA is coming online, and it's activating. It's kind of like it's this call, it's like the codes are coming on, and it's activating in others as I'm singing out. So it's like, I just love what I do, to be honest. I'm so grateful that I can do this work, and just that it helps people to the degree that it does. Like it just nourishes me on so many levels. And again, it's weird because it grounds me in to the human experience. Like I always had this separatist kind of energy where I'm like, I'm an alien and I'm not from here. And I'm not. But it's like, I'm human now. I'm grounded in this now. And it's like, I'm bringing the other world's energy here to ground in, because that's what the earth needs. That's what, like, all of us are in our own ways, in our creative energy. And we are the light. We are the pillars of light. And it's like how we're pulling in the codes and the energies from the higher realms. And we're the conduit. And this is how Gaia is activating. This is how she's upgrading. Her energy system is through us. So, and the anchoring into our own selves is that extension out. And we activate each other, we activate her, and she's a part of the grand scheme of the cosmos. So like everyone is connected. And that's the beautiful aspect of the unity consciousness, the Christ consciousness, really.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It sounds like you went through a process of surrender and accepting, and I'm here. Okay. I'm here now.
Yeah, because I wasn't for most of, I just boycotted a lot of aspects of being human because I'm like, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, this is my 143rd life on Earth, and it still feels like super uncomfortable. And I'm like, this is just not my place, but this is a place I chose to be for very important reasons. And, the more I can step into that, the more I find I balance here, and surrender into, being all of that and helping others be all of that. And seeing others just come online and their gifts, it's just like, it really does nourish me in all the ways, and seeing the power that we all possess in our own beautiful way. And all of us have this, we all are that light, and we're just on different spectrums of that. And to see people come online, it's just really beautiful process. Like, there's a lot of healing happening. There's a lot of intense healing happening, and to observe that and witness that in others is healing within ourselves too, right? So it's beautiful.
And that's exactly the way I feel to balance the fear and the anger, is to just tap it into that light that everybody has that they've just forgotten about.
Exactly. And doing these psychic fairs, it's like, I always preface it being like, I'm going to tell you like what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and it's like with the intention of like, you are powerful, and like activate that power within inside you. And like, to see people come online and to leave feeling empowered, and like their visions of creating something that isn't in form yet in the world, like we're moving into a new way of being, and they can't quite figure out how they're going to do that job. How are they going to connect this making money to the thing that they love? And when they leave, they have an idea of what that dream looks like. And to see people come online and be like, wow, that is possible in a world that tells us it's not, and to keep us confined. It's like, that's why we're here. We are all infinite God souls. We're all creators. And when we can just tap into that beautiful power inside ourselves, it is magic, because things come into your sphere, people, places, opportunities, where we come online even more. And it's this beautiful kind of crescendo effect of that alignment, that unity, because we're all here helping each other come online. We're all here as creator beings to bring that light here. And there is this kind of dividing that's happening, and I don't like that, because we're here to create unity, but there's a choice point, and that's where we're at right now. And it's like, it's that choice to connect to self, and to like get rid of the noise, and to allow ourselves to just connect deeper into those parts. And we're here to co-create. We're here for community. We're here to create together in the timeline that aligns to us. And everybody's on a different timeline. It's when you align to yours, you call in the people that are also meant to be on yours and you on theirs. And I'm seeing that happening, and it's really beautiful to see just like kind of the structures fall away, the crumbling of that. And amongst the chaos, this is the intention. This is the point of what's happening. And it's going to get a little more intense, but also within that, there's beauty in the chaos if we can find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the more chaos there is, the more we have to search for the beauty. And it kind of propels us more into our hearts,
Exactly. As that pillar of light, as that being who is anchoring in that light, like it just exudes out of you when you are in alignment of that. And I can see people that I'm like, wow, you got it going on. Like you're drawn to that. It's like moths to a flame, and like, even I had this girl on my psychic fair this weekend. She's like, your energy is so intense. Like I could feel you across the room. And I'm just like, is that a good thing? She's like, yeah, like, because it's just like, I feel anchored in myself, authentically walking my path. And like, people are drawn to that. And like, it's this light, and it flicks their light on, and it helps them flick their light on in somebody else. And it's like smiling at that person on the street corner, it's like, it just starts with such a small aspect. And this is why we're all here. And when we can come online, it's like this like branching out. It's this ripple effect that affects everyone around you in your sphere. And it's beautiful to kind of witness that amongst the chaos, because we're crumbling into the rubble right now. And right now we will build anew. And when we can anchor into that and be like, whatever's going on around us, the chaos, it's like staying in that calmness in self, anchoring into that self autonomy, that self that finds the calm amongst the chaos. Like you're untouchable really at that point, because you're just like, I know who I am, I know why I'm here, and I know what I exude. And we have good and bad days, like that's part of the experience, but it's not to the point where you're thrown off, you know, your journey, you're thrown off like to the point where, we're going to have highs and lows, but the more you anchor into your own self and your journey in that, it's like, it's almost like you're giving others the permission to do the same. And it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's I suppose contagious is the word I'm looking for. It's definitely contagious.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. And it's like you exude it out, and it's like you can't not walk your talk and walk your walk. And And again, it's like we have, it's like an unlearning of everything we've been conditioned to learn of our whole lives, you know. And like, you can do it that way. I spend so much time talking to clients where I'm just like, they're like, oh, well, I can't do that. I'm like, who says you can't do that? Why can't you do that? You're the only one stopping yourself. Like, don't listen to others. Like, find that truth within yourself and create that life that you want, what that looks like for you. And it doesn't need to be logical or rational, you know, like, just create it, because you're creating by visualizing and manifesting the timeline that you're going to step into. It doesn't have to be informed yet, you know, like, we are creators. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I love that. I love when you get into a spiral of asking questions and questioning everything around you, and then you just realize, actually, why am I doing that?
Exactly. I mean, it's a natural part of the process to do that, you know, being like, that's a part of questioning, like, everything we've been told. It's like, oh, actually, everything we've been told is not for our highest good, or not for the health, you know, it's not for alignment, it's not for abundance, it's not for manifestation. And that's when the hard part, but also the true beauty, comes forward, because then you're like, okay, well, I create my own way. I have complete control over what that looks like. And when we know that, we can create from that space. And it's just beautiful to watch that unfold in our own lives, and also in the lives around the people that we love and the people that we're helping.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Lonna, for your amazing knowledge and wisdom. I cannot wait for the next one.
Thank you, sweet friend. It's beautiful to connect with you.